So, imagine you're sitting at home, sipping coffee, scrolling through headlines, and suddenly you read, Elon Musk just implanted a chip into someone's brain. I don't know about you, but my first thought was, bro, we're skipping Bluetooth headphones and going straight to Bluetooth brains? Like, did we even fix autocorrect yet? Because the last time I trusted technology inside my body, it was a Fitbit that thought I was dead every time I sat too long. But this isn't about tracking your steps. This is about connecting your neurons to the internet. And if that sentence doesn't sound like the beginning of a sci-fi movie, well, congrats. You're already living in one. Welcome to Neuralink, the company that's trying to rewrite what it means to be human. So, how exactly do you plug a brain into a computer, and why does part of me kind of want to try it? But before we go full sci-fi brain surgery mode, let's break down what Neuralink actually is. In the simplest terms possible, it's a company trying to connect human neurons to tiny electronic threads so your brain can talk to a computer. Which honestly sounds like something you'd hear right before a Marvel villain shows up. But no, Neuralink was founded in 2016 by Elon Musk and a team of neuroscientists, who all apparently said, yeah, let's just merge humans with machines. What could go wrong? In reality, their mission is shockingly wholesome. Help people who can't move, move again. Help people who can't speak, speak again. Help people who've been locked in silence, reconnect with the world. And honestly, that part is beautiful. Technology becoming an extension of humanity, not a replacement. Now, how do they do it? Picture the world's tiniest, softest spaghetti noodles, and each noodle is actually a wire thinner than a human hair. These little threads slip into your brain tissue without causing damage, at least, in theory, because I don't know about you, but my brain already glitches on its own. Like the other day, I walked into the kitchen, opened the fridge, and absolutely forgot why I was alive. But Neuralink's goal is bigger than fixing memory lapses. Their long-term vision is something called a brain-computer interface, a device that lets your thoughts communicate directly with a machine. Basically, telepathy, but make it Wi-Fi. And in 2024, they implanted their first chip in a human volunteer, which means the future isn't coming, it's already under someone's skull. So, how does this thing actually work? What does the chip do? And how close are we to controlling screens with pure thought? So let's dive into the part where Neuralink goes from sci-fi headline to, oh wow, they really did this. So here's the basic idea. Your brain is made of billions of neurons, and every time you think, move, remember, regret something, those neurons fire tiny electrical signals. Yeah, your brain is basically an overworked electrical storm that somehow remembers your first heartbreak but forgets where you put your keys. Neuralink's chip is designed to read those tiny signals, not the thoughts themselves, so relax, nobody's downloading your I hate my boss moments yet, but the electrical patterns behind movement and intention. Now, how do you actually get a chip into the brain? Good question. And the answer is somehow both terrifying and incredibly cool. They built a robot, a needle-wielding, thread-inserting, hyper-precision brain robot that can implant those microscopic threads with the accuracy of a god-tier sewing machine. Imagine a Roomba, but instead of bumping into your furniture, it's stitching wires into your neurons. The robot places the chip, called the link, right on the surface of the skull, and the threads slip gently into the brain tissue, avoiding blood vessels like it's playing the world's most stressful game of operation. And once the chip is in place, that's where the magic happens. Every tiny electrical signal your neurons produce gets picked up by the threads and sent to a processor inside the chip. The chip then analyzes those signals, figures out what they mean, and sends them wirelessly to a computer, which means thoughts can move things directly. No limbs required. The first human trial showed the volunteer controlling a cursor just by thinking about where he wanted it to go. Meanwhile, I still misclick half the buttons on my phone. But this is huge, because if the brain can control a cursor, it could eventually control a keyboard, a robotic arm, a wheelchair, or entire digital environments. We're talking about restoring mobility, restoring independence, restoring communication, with nothing but neural signals. That's not sci-fi anymore.
That's medicine. That's technology becoming human. But of course, this raises a much bigger question. If we can send signals out of the brain, how long before something starts sending signals in? So let's just sit with this for a second. A chip, talking to neurons, thoughts, moving a cursor, signals, leaving the brain for the first time in human history. This is one of those moments where humanity quietly takes a step and realizes the ground behind it just changed forever. Because Neuralink isn't just about restoring movement. It's about rewriting the relationship between biology and technology, between mind and machine.
And yeah, I won't lie, part of that feels exciting. Like, whoa, I could one day control my computer like a Jedi. But another part, it feels different, like we're touching something sacred. What does it mean when your thoughts have a wireless signal? What does it mean when machines start learning from the most private parts of you? Don't get me wrong, the medical benefits are incredible. People who've lost the ability to move, talk, or connect could finally get their independence back. That's not science fiction. That's hope. Real, tangible hope. But then there's the other side. The side that wonders, how much of me is still me if a machine can read my brain signals or send new ones back? Where is the line between enhancement and dependence? And if our brains start syncing with AI, do we become more human or something new? Classic human glitch, right? Leave it to us to invent technology that makes us rethink the meaning of being alive. But here's the truth. Every major leap in human evolution felt confusing at the start. Fire, language, electricity, the internet, and now, the brain itself. We're not standing at the end of humanity. We're standing at a doorway, and nobody knows what's on the other side yet. But whatever comes next, we'll face it the way humans always have, with fear, with curiosity, and with a spark in our minds that no machine can fully understand. So, yeah, a brain chip, a robot surgeon, a future where thoughts talk to machines. Honestly, that's a lot for one day. But remember, this technology doesn't define our humanity. We do. And as wild as all of this sounds, the story of the future is still being written by minds like yours. Curious, creative, beautifully chaotic, and occasionally buffering, just like mine. Classic human glitch. I'm Nate, and this is Human iSync, where humans and ideas connect. Thanks for syncing your mind with me today. Stay curious, stay human, and hey, maybe give your brain a reboot tonight. See you in the next one.